How are you feeling today?
Very good. I went for a run with the golden retriever puppy today, which was very good. I am really happy with how much I'm exercising at the moment. It's definitely great for the physical and mental health, so feeling very, very good.
You've stated that the new single was inspired by the last 2 years of your life. How so?
On Jan 2020, I woke up in severe pain, not knowing what was going on. I had been out the night before to see a band and actually come home early with a mate. The following day, I was in absolute agony and had no idea what was going on. I instantly thought, well, something is definitely up. I was having trouble with laying down or walking, and from that point on, I went to the hospital, and then following that, I ended up bedridden for 6 months, unable to walk, severe pain, misdiagnosed with prescription medication, and basically from May 2020, May or June 2020, once I started getting medicated properly, having to learn how to walk again from scratch, dealing with severe pain and being heavily medicated. I had an issue with internal bleeding and pinched nerves, which caused severe pain through my back, hips, down through the genitals and down inside my leg. It was so bad that I couldn't even get out of bed. I had to be lifted out of bed. I could barely go to the toilet. Every day was pure hell. I struggled with trying to do the most basic tasks, and still nearly 2 years later, after all that, I am having to still work very hard every day, considering that I literally didn't move for the first 6 months. So it was, it was not good at all, and it kind of fed into that. When people hear the new single, I think they'll understand where the lyrics come from. It's definitely, it feeds into that headspace that I was in at the time.
And you were almost self-isolated yourself before COVID really hit as well, so you were already not well before everyone else went into lockdown.
I didn't even know what COVID was. To be honest, I felt like I was already in some kind of lockdown, mental and physical lockdown. I couldn't leave the room, and having to be showered and clothed and fed, and not being able to move at all, and being in that lockdown already. And then when the COVID stuff hit, I just didn't understand fully for a very long time, probably till about the end of 2020, before I really grasped that there was a lockdown happening and other people were in it. So whilst everyone else was in a lockdown within their home, I'd spent the whole year locked down within my room, not having the ability to move from how bad the pain was. It just that's where the song comes into it, and felt like a bit of an anthem for myself to get up and get moving, even if I had to learn how to play guitar again. And I had nothing. I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't even write it, but I knew I had this little idea in my head of the lyrics. That was really cool. I remember just typing them into my phone. That was the only thing I could do, was just move my fingers through the pain. And it started from there. That was the seed, and that's where it come from, and where it began. And it's been really exciting to finally bring it to fruition and work my ass off with my health, but get the song to the point. It's like a bit of therapeutic expression, and it feels like a little reward at the end of it.
Mental health at the core of the song. Was there a time in the last 2 years where your mental health was at its worst?
Definitely. A big part of the song is, the majority of it is about mental health. People can interpret the lyrics how they want them. Once you hear the song, I think you'll understand it doesn't have to do what you think it does. It has to do with mental health. I become so bad with prescription medication, and it wasn't anyone's fault. I was just taking what I was told.
What were you taking at the time?
Just a mixture of different prescription meds that were for different things that they thought that was the issue. No one's to blame, but it got so bad. I think it was like 28 pills a day I was on at that point in time, and my vision started to go. My any sense of realism or anything left. I was still not able to move then, and was so heavily medicated that I completely lost the plot. Anything I'd look at, colours had changed, and I was starting to see things in 2D, not 3D. So if I looked at anything, it was one flat colour, and I knew then that, I didn't really know, but I suppose my mind and body knew externally that I was pretty fucked. It was absolutely brutal. It got so bad at that point in time that I had become completely suicidal. I thought about it all day, every day. I just thought, how can I do this? When can I do this? I woke up one night and I remember saying that I don't want to live anymore. I went round and round in circles for so long, and in so much pain that I can put up with a lot. I can put up with so much, but when the pain was so severe and no answers and everything, it just reached a boiling point where I spent every single day wanting to end my own life, and just thought, it was such a deep dark hole when you're trapped within your mind and body and you can't move. That's a whole different thing than having like a broken arm or something. At least you can still get out and about and do that, but when you're confined to your bed and you can't even wash yourself or cook anything, and you're just in that place that it was really fucked up. And I'm so glad that I'm here, but it killed me to get so far down. I wanted this song to be kind of a bit of a mental health anthem for those people that might feel the same things no matter what they're going through. I was just speaking my mind at the time with the lyrics, and I just feel like it was one of those little things I held on to. I don't know how I made it through, but it was the darkest time of my life, and I don't ever want to go back to that. I was always a grateful person for everything in life before that. People say when something like that happens, you start to become grateful for everything. It wasn't like that for me, because I've always been a person that has been so full of energy and loving every single day. It didn't make me feel it more or anything. It just kind of stopped me in my tracks and fucked me up. And I'd like to kind of shake hands with death and say, like, I'm happy to start exploring. That's the way that I want to go. I've never been that bad in my life before, and it's just, there's so many people out there suffering that just need proper help and someone to talk to, even if it's not a physical thing like mine was, but just a mental thing. It's something we definitely need more time put into.